Okay, here we are. So what happened today when you would get SSM's answer?
Well, I got SKB and SSM's answer. Okay? SKB basically said that they didn't have an answer because it wasn't their job, it was up to SSM. Okay? That's more
And
or less
who was that?
bloke called Anderson, Johan Anderson. Okay?
Have you met him before?
No, I don't know who he is.
Okay.
It's just some fat guy in a suit.
Young or old?
50s, 60s, something like that. Yeah. And then I had this little squirty guy called Weeble jumped up, and he said, I want to make a reply from SSM. So he got up and he said, my reply is going to be based on a talk that I gave earlier on the same issue. And basically he just went through, the standard routine. Who is SSM, what they do, what does dose mean, how they show that dose is all right, and how they make sure that it's below 1 millisievert, all that usual crap, He didn't address anything that I said, not a single thing, okay? All he did was he did his standard response about what dose is. Anyway, so then it's my turn, you see. So I get up, I said, well, I'm not intending to get involved in a debate about this. I brought my evidence in front of this honourable court, and it's legal evidence. This is, I assume, a legal court, and something legal will happen. I just point out that this man from SSM has not actually addressed any of this. And I'm just saying at the moment that SSN is in legal contravention of the Euratom directive, and an infringement order from the European Commission will follow unless they do something about it. Because children and adults and babies and people are all going to die at these levels of exposure, as we now know from Chernobyl. And I rambled on a bit about that, but not very much. And I said, well, the question arises as to who is responsible for this. And the French say that it's the industry, and the industry say that it's the regulators, and then the regulators say that it's ICRP, and depending on who you get to, you get a different load of nonsense. But actually the European Commission has made it quite clear that it's the regulators, and that the regulators are are in this case SSM. And so SSM has to actually minutely examine the new and important information, and transparently respond to each of the points that I've made here and that have been made through all of the scientific papers, more than 100 scientific papers that show that they're wrong. And it's not the job of ICRP. It's not the job of ECRR, it's the job of the regulators in the country who are designated as contacts by Euratom. And in this case it's Frederick Hassel and it's SSM, and it's you, pointing at the guy there.
And you named Frederick Hassel?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he wasn't there?
No, he wasn't there. He was under the bed somewhere.
Surely.
With his fingers in his ears. Well, I don't know, but
and
anyway,
lots of secretaries tacking him.
Anyway, I gave them the, that's all I could do. I brought in the information, I brought in the evidence, and I told them it was a legal issue.
And he had nothing to
He had nothing
answer.
to say. He just said,
Anyway, great. So the point was clear. The audience was full out.
Yes.
The receiving.
Well, they were all there,
The receiving audience
Yeah.
was fabulous.
Yeah.
I think this is very important.
Yeah, sure. And I got free lunch for miles too.
Oh, you did. He could afford for one Busby.
Yeah, he gave me a lunch this time.
Yeah, great.
Pretty crap lunch, I have to say. But anyway.
Yeah, it's a crap hotel too, and it's all sort of being poor now when we have to survive saving the world.
At one point I got up and shouted at the guy, and then Mr. Liliana had to get up and shout at me and tell me to shut up.
Yeah, you got to that point.
Yeah, well, I just got so irritated by this twerp, He said, oh, well, it's not the job of the SSM. And I got up, without asking for the microphone. I thought, well, fuck you, I said, I got up, this is exactly the job of the SSM. This is the law. I'm sorry, but you are wrong. It is the job of the SSM. It's your job.
And they have all the lawyers.
Yeah.
Just to lie.
I know.
It's just such dishonorable order. And the Baltic Sea Indigenous Court is finishing this criminal system.
I need to, anyway, switch that off because...
May the gods be with us.
Yeah, sure.